In the previous video we got the Golf into the rotisserie stand and we also dropped the tank, which was an essential part of getting it completely disassembled. We still need to remove the exhaust as well as the secondary fuel pump. Now that I have removed the exhaust, I can also go ahead and remove the heat shielding. The next thing that I have to do is to dismount the fuel lines and the secondary fuel pump. I think I did it wrong because I destroyed almost every single one of these clips. There's probably a method, but I haven't really figured that out yet, so I guess I have to buy new ones. I also thought that it would be smart for me to remove the gear shifter hub while I'm still looking at the bottom. There are still a few parts that I haven't taken off yet, like the suspension and some of the brake lines. And just for fun, I thought about removing the rubber skin or the undercarriage treatment from this part right here. I will not be removing it from the whole bottom of the car because there are some spots, like the flooring right here, that may be switched out, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time cleaning up these areas if I just have to cut it away and throw it out anyways. This part is extremely slow, but it's an important part of the preparation for sandblasting. I have now trimmed off a great portion of the undercarriage sealer. I know I mentioned that I only wanted to do the spare wheel compartment, but I just went into a groove and I did most of the bottom of the car. There are still some spots that are covered in the stone chip protection, such as these flaps right here, as well as the floor on the driver and the passenger side. The main reason why is that there's a lot of deep corrosion in this area, the same right here. I think the reason why the rust came in this spot in the first place is that when you enter the car, you're bringing in a lot of sand and dirt, and it starts rubbing against the paint underneath the carpets. As for the general frame of the car, the part where I bolted to right here, and following along the bottom, I think it's pretty great. There are some spots where there's a little corrosion, and some spots where there's a great deal of it, but there's still quite a lot of thick metal underneath, so when it's sandblasted, this will still be useful. But one thing that happened, which is quite annoying, is that I got a piece of a bolt stock, so I'll have to drill this out at some point, but that won't be right now. As for the rest of the car, we do still have some components that need to be removed. As I mentioned before, we have the brake lines. We also have the backup mirror and the headliner inside of the car. We haven't removed it yet because we don't know if we are actually going to reuse it. And if anything were to drop from the car onto the inside of the roof, we thought it would be better to have some cushioning so we don't dent it. The reason being is that the roof doesn't have that much corrosion. We have some tiny spots here in the front from stone chips, and we have one right here in the middle of everything, but other than that, there's nothing wrong with the roof, so we really have to protect it. That's gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing, liking, and writing any suggestions down in the comments. Bye bye!